Hey everyone, this is Rachel, and today I'm here with a new scrapbooking process video. Thanks so much for joining me here, and I hope you enjoy. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome, and I would love it if you would become a subscriber. You can also click on the notification bell so you always know when I have a new video up. Alright, folks, let's get going! Hi, everybody, and welcome to another round of the Secret Not Secret Kit Club YouTube Hop telephone tag. So for those of you who don't know what telephone is, telephone tag is. It is based off of the game Telephone, the one where a bunch of people line up and the first person thinks of a sentence and whispers it into the second person's ear, and then the second person whispers what they think they heard into the third person's ear, so on and so forth. And the point of the game is to end up with a funny sentence in comparison to what the sentence started at. In the world of scrapbooking, it's just to see where the inspiration takes you, what parts you pull out from people's layouts, and just to see where the layouts go. So this time around, I am part of the Inspiring Influencers group, and I will put all of the ladies who are in my group in the description box below. So if you want to go back and start at day one, you can do so to follow it all the way through. For me, I only get to see Janet's layout, and this is her layout right here. And so that is what I am going to be working off of. When I saw it and how bright and fun it was, I immediately thought of this layout. For those of you who are joining me here for the first time, I have been putting page kits together and then working off of them. And so I have this, and it is made up of Paige Evans' Turn the Page for Pink Paisley, and I've got some frames, I've got some stickers, I've got some cut aparts, and a piece of pink cardstock to make a layout about my cat Xanthi. And so I'm gonna go ahead, get you guys started. Before I do want to say, if you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. And also, as I said, a link to all of the other ladies will be in the description box below. All right, ladies or gentlemen, or whomever you are, let's get going. All right, so right off the bat, I'm going to change things up just a little bit. I am going to be using colored cardstock background. First of all, I don't tend to use colored cardstock background in point in fact, I actually got rid of a lot of my cardstock that wasn't a neutral, simply because I found I didn't really reach for it at all, so it just kind of sat in my stash. I did keep a couple of colors though, and I did keep this pink one. And what I really want to use is this really bold hexagon pattern paper. Right now I'm fussy cutting it out, so I only will have the full hexagons and not the partial ones that are on the edge. I'm also going to change it up by flipping the sketch. I'm working with a vertical photo rather than a horizontal one, so I am going to go ahead and flip that as well. I think about having it over on the right-hand side, my photo, but it just isn't going to work for me, so I am going to end up moving it over to the left. I am going to map my photo with this pink geometric paper. I was just checking out to make sure I wasn't absolutely in love with any of the cut aparts on the other side. Do you ever do that where you cut a piece of paper and then you turn it over and you're like, no, why did I do that? Yeah, I've done that several times. I try to learn my lesson here and actually look on the B side before I cut. I'm also pulling out a doily, which is something I remembered from Janet's page. So here's where I'm deciding to move the photo over to the left-hand side rather than the right. And I don't know whether I want that white doily or the blue doily, so I'm just gonna think about it. Now, in Janet's layout, she had matted her photo multiple times. Rather than doing that, I decided to go for just a bunch of layers of different pattern papers behind my photo. I just felt it brought
Let me see, how can I say this? It was a more unstructured look because I've got those very structured geometric shapes. It just brought a little looseness into my layout. I'm also bringing in those die cut frames that came in one of the Page Evans. Oh, I should have mentioned, I'm working with a lot of Page Evans items here today, mainly from Turn the Page, but there may be some elements from other Page Evan lines as well. So I'm liking the way this is looking so far. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing everything down. One thing I will tell you is I end up covering up most of these frames. I go whole hog with the embellishment idea. So one of those frames you can't see at all, and the other two you only end up seeing very little of them. It's fine. It happens. I'm not going to get hung up on it. I am going to go ahead and get this hexagon paper down, and I decide rather than have that yellow piece being shown, I am going to put it behind my photo. I just don't really have a lot of yellow on the rest of this layout. I mean, I have a little bit, but that particular one hexagon was just very strong, so I decided I would not have that be a part of the layout. So I do have this, oh sugar, it's like a slide frame, and I'm going to layer that over that doily. I thought that looked quite cute. Now I'm just seeing if there's anything else I want to add before I start either embellishing or my title. And I think I'm all set, and I am going to move on to the embellishing. Now, as I said, this is a page kit I put together, and it's actually a page kit I put together before I knew I was going to use this for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club telephone tag. And I, once I realized I was going to use this for it, I knew I was going to have to go back into my stash and pull out more embellishments. Just by looking at Janet's layout, I needed to have more embellishments. Excuse me. Sorry. And that's okay. You don't necessarily, once, if for some people, they always ask me, how do you know what you're going to need in a page kit? And normally I don't add any more, but occasionally I do go back into my stash and pull out more items. And that's what I did in this case. Before I start embellishing, as I was nattering on, you saw I did part of my title, and now I'm looking for those small dark teal tile stickers. I cannot find them anywhere. If you're wondering, they're that white rectangle that's under the floral alphas that are sitting right there on the left-hand side of my layout. Now, do you ever have this idea that something is a certain color or a certain shape or a certain something or other? And so even if it's sitting right in front of you, because it's not what you think you're looking for, you can't see it. In my head, those alphas were green, and for some reason, the backside of them would have been green as well. I don't know why I thought that. It's just what I thought. So I will find them eventually, but for right now, part of my title is going to be Missed You. Now, what I decided to do was go ahead and add all of the florals I could find that I could fit on this page and not look obnoxious, because I don't use florals all that often, but I thought it really went well both with my cat Xanthi, who's featured in this photo because she is very fancy and girly, and also because what the subject of the layout is, where she's being really sweet. I mean, in an obnoxious way, she's still a cat, but she's being really sweet to my nephew. For those of you who don't know, my nephew who lives in my house, he went away over the summer for a program at the college he attends, and he was living in the dorms, and he would come home on weekends. And when he came home that first weekend and he was working on some homework, she went up to his study and latched on with her teeth to his notebook and would not let go. So it was just ridiculously cute in an obnoxious cat way, obviously. So while I've been talking about what this layout is about, I did add many, many floral pieces in die cuts, and then I went to chipboard, and then I went to puffy stickers, and it's just a whole bunch of the florals. And hey, look, I finally found the other alphas. So I'm going to go ahead and complete my title. So my entire title is going to be Missed You, hashtag so much. Because anytime I can get a chance to work on anything that has anything to do with a teenager, and I can toss a hashtag in, I do, because it reminds me of teenagers in this day and age, and also it uses up my hashtags, or pound signs as they were known when I was growing up. I grabbed one of these pretty little studio journaling spots, and that's where I'm going to put my journaling. The story I just told you. So while I am finishing that up, I will say there is a list of all the ladies involved. So if you are a normal subscriber of mine and you didn't see it, you can go ahead and see where this layout originated from with Kay's mom. I never know how to pronounce her screen name. Her name is Jen. So it's Jen, and then Janet, and then me, and then Vanessa is next, and there's a couple other ladies after that whom I'm going to mess up on their names, so I'm not going to bother. But as I said, all of their links are below. I'm finishing off with some Jenny B Blue, misting, my favorite, of course, and that is going to complete my layout. Thanks again so much for joining me here. Bye!